Harry Styles has been named the new king of pop by Rolling Stone, and this has caused a ton of discourse and backlash against Harry online. More than anyone with lists, titles, and proclamations like this, the artists, the albums, and songs tend to get the brunt of the backlash instead of the actual publication who said it. And that sucks because it's not like the artist is asking to be crowned or given an honorific title. But I suppose it's fair game. When titles like these get thrown out on artists, legacies and music will be discussed. Even Michael Jackson's nephew spoke out about it, so it's caused a big stir. Personally, I didn't really interpret Rolling Stone giving the title of New King of Pop to Harry Styles as a dethronement or slight to Michael Jackson. Because while Michael Jackson is pretty much indisputably the king of pop, I mean he has the influence, the sales, cultural relevancy, and credentials to back it up, the title has also been used throughout the years interchangeably to crown the biggest artist of the moment. It has been used on various male artists throughout the years just as a symbol of their current popularity. I just interpreted the title as Harry being the current biggest male artist in pop music. I think even being the current forerunner is debatable for Harry. There are a lot of artists in recent history that could also battle for that title, such as Drake or The Weeknd. But I must agree that when it comes to being the template, setting a new precedent, it has been associated with Michael for the longest and the most. So I think no matter what artist gets referred to as the king of pop, it will always be of Michael Jackson. And it's also like Madonna being the queen of pop. These titles have been ingrained to their legacies. And once again, they also have the influence, commercial, and critical success to justify the titles. I think in general, Harry's comparisons to legends has been off-putting for some people, and that the King of Pop controversy was simply the last straw. I do think at times there is a very obvious push to make Harry seem like a great or being of the legends, but he hasn't gotten there yet, and that is okay. He has all the time in the world to do so. He has been compared to acts like David Bowie, just because he wore a dress and dabbles in rock-inspired music from time to time. And I think that's also ridiculous. It's very clear that Harry is at least inspired by him, but it's more in image. When it comes to artistry, music, and even a lot of times in image, they are drastically different. I just see Harry pick up certain things from his influences, but he's not pushing the same boundaries they were, he's not making music as great, and to put it simply, I don't really think his art even justifies the comparisons. Like yes, he was influenced by some of the rock and pop greats, but he has yet to produce something that actually can be compared or sit alongside their greatest works. Harry Styles has long since proved himself as a solo star coming from One Direction, but I think he's still in the process of finding and improving his musical style. That aside, I also don't think people talk enough about how a lot of times these type of titles are thrown onto another artist to generate interest and garner clicks. While I don't agree with the decision of Harry being given that title or the push to make him seem like some revolutionary, taking personal feelings out of this, specifically when it comes to music titles, I do think honorific music titles are a nice gesture of showing importance and highlighting a legacy, but I don't think they are the end-all be-all. And I do think people take them just a bit too seriously at times. I'm all for someone defending and backing up who they feel deserve a music title, but at times these type of debates can come at the expense of other acts where their influence, contributions, or career are just discredited, and people just become so worked up over them. At the end of the day, it is a title given by fans, the media, and fellow entertainers, but it's not a necessity. And I don't think removing or adding a title to someone will change their actual contributions or legacy or their importance. Michael Jackson is the king of pop, but I also don't think he needs a title such as king of pop to justify his legacy or contributions. Michael Jackson would still be the Michael Jackson if the media never bestowed a title like that upon him. So on one hand, I don't think these titles are nearly as important as some people make them seem. On the other hand, I do think artists like Michael Jackson, Madonna, Whitney Houston, Donna Summer have earned their respective titles for their contributions. But there are also acts like Prince, Stevie Wonder for example, who are often equally important to the development of the modern pop landscape, and they aren't commonly associated with titles or one single title, but it doesn't make their contributions any less significant. Nor do they need one because it's just a title and it's not a deciding factor. It is not the end-all be-all. And at times titles can even be limiting. With that being said, despite his popularity, I still think Harry has a long way to go, not even just to obtain a title, but in general, before he's put into a conversation with legendary acts. I certainly don't view him as the king of pop, new king of pop, or even the current king of pop. I just feel like he's a popular and decent to good artist right now, and that is enough.